guys, welcome back to Hear Me Out. I'm E.
I'm D.
And today, I think we were, I don't know, slightly procrastinating, slightly terrified, slightly like, oh my God, how are we even going to tackle this? It's been a few months of all these rumors and allegations and cases and
Yep.
craziness. I'm talking about Brother Love, Brother Love, Sean Diddy Combs. We
Yeah.
have to tackle it, guys. I think we just had to gather our thoughts, and things were just coming out every single day. It's
I
like we
know.
couldn't report on it fast enough, so we were like, hey, let's wait for things to die down.
Right.
Collect all the data that we can and
Mhm.
just present it in a cohesive fashion. So today we're going to be talking about a whole bunch of things. We're going to be talking about the rumors and allegations, the cases, Cassie, but this is kind of like the rise and fall of Diddy, of a mogul, of a
Yeah.
entrepreneur. And yeah, I think we've seen a lot of that in Hollywood as of late.
Yeah.
Um, we weren't ready, but maybe it's something we needed. So
Right.
we get started.
Okay. So by now we've all read, heard, watched, reread, reheard, rewatched the news surrounding Diddy and the many allegations that have come to light. To start, in mid-November, this is when pretty much everything popped off, the shocking news came out that Cassie, Diddy's ex and former Bad Boy recording artist, had filed a federal civil lawsuit for sex trafficking, the R word, domestic violence, among other things. Within 24 hours, though, Diddy settled the suit for an undisclosed amount, but 24 hours is all it took to seemingly bring down a giant. So, since Cassie's filing, at the time of our research, there was just two other allegations, but now there's, I think, a third allegation of SA have been filed against Diddy, possibly in part at the time due to the expiration on November 24th of the Adult Survivors Act in New York. I'm sure you guys heard there was multiple lawsuits that came about from many people of fame, of notoriety in New York, thanks to this situation. During that week, a wave of complaints were filed, not just on Diddy, but several other celebrities, politicians, and athletes. Our focus, however, is on, all the recent stories, rumors, allegations, and the internet sleuths investigations surrounding Diddy, because y'all be some FBI agents out there, bro. Like, oh my gosh. And
Yeah.
there's a lot to discuss. From rumors that Diddy was utilizing his maybe still current girlfriend, Young Miami, in the same fashion as he allegedly did Cassie, to the dark and disturbing threads about Diddy possibly having something to do with his ex-girlfriend and mother of his 3 kids, Kim Porter's death. It seems like every day something new was popping up. We'd like to point out that we waited for some time, as E mentioned, to do this video because we wanted to obtain as much information as possible and do proper research. This is not only a sensitive subject, but it involves decades of alleged misconduct, aggression, and dark deeds. Similar to the way that the Me Too movement brought down Harvey Weinstein, who seemed to be untouchable for years, if not decades. Despite many in the industry knowing about his crimes, Diddy seems to be in the midst of a reckoning himself. So, according to the New York Times, a few months ago, Sean Combs was doing a victory lap for his 3-decade career as a producer, music executive, and all-around hip-hop showman. At the MTV Video Music Awards in September, he accepted the network's Global Icon Award and performed vintage hits like I'll Be Missing You. That month, Mr. Combs, who has been known throughout his career as Puff Daddy or Diddy, released his first solo album in 17 years, and a flurry of approving media coverage celebrated his signature achievement of helping to transform hip-hop into a major pop movement. Mr. Combs, 54, I think at the time he's still 54, I don't know if he's had a birthday since, founded Bad Boy in 1993 and has been called one of the key figures behind the commercialization of hip-hop, broadening the genre's appeal and crafting a gilded public image for its stars. In the 2000s, the MTV series Making the Band also made him a favorite reality TV character, with his salty slang turning up as streetwear slogans. The wave of lawsuits against him now threatens that image. So, in the second case, Joy Dickerson Neal accused Mr. Combs of drugging and R word, her, in 1991 and recording the incident on video. In her complaint, Ms. Dickerson Neal said that the news of Miss Ventura's lawsuit had prompted her to file her own. In a third suit, Liza Gardner says that in 1990, Mr. Combs coerced her into sex and then a couple of days later choked her so hard she passed out. All three suits were filed as a deadline approach for the Adult Survivors Act, a New York law that allowed people who said they were sexually abused to file claims even after the statute of limitations had expired. In a statement, Jonathan D. Davis, a lawyer for Mr. Combs, said the new claims against Mr. Combs for alleged misconduct from many years ago, which were filed at the last minute, are all denied and rejected by him. He views these lawsuits as a money grab. Because of Mr. Combs' fame and success, he is an easy target for accusers who attempt to smear him. The New York legislature surely did not intend or expect its laws to be misused. Mr. Combs trusts that the public will remain skeptical and not rush to accept the unsubstantiated allegations made against him. As news of these suits ricocheted through social media, accusations from Mr. Combs' past were resurfaced and dissected. In a 2004 interview, Kimora Lee Simmons, the model and TV personality, said that Mr. Combs had threatened her while she was pregnant. Gina Hun, a one-time girlfriend, said in a 2019 podcast that Mr. Combs had dragged her by the hair, thrown a high-heel shoe at her, and pressed her to get 2 abortions. Revolt, which has popular podcasts like Drink Champs and Carisha Please, also distanced itself from its founder this week, or a couple of weeks ago, announcing that Mr. Combs was stepping down as chairman and that this decision helps to ensure that Revolt remains steadfastly focused on our mission. Whew, that was quite a bit. That's quite a bit. I don't even know. I don't even know.
I don't even know. I'm just,
Yeah.
I always say that people with that kind of money and power and influence, they feel untouchable. This is all alleged. I don't need to be sued, or we don't need to be sued. They feel untouchable. So, me having $100,000 and going to buy a car is going to be a big deal, right?
Yeah.
But Diddy having $1 billion and buying $100,000 car is pennies. It's like, oh, another car.
Yeah.
So I think what gives people excitement, kind of thing, is people do things that they wouldn't normally do, really. Like if we compare it to Squid Games, right? At the end we saw that there was all these like rich people looking at the game.
Yeah.
So what does that say? These people were desperate for the money and would do anything, basically die for it.
Mm-hmm.
And the people on top watching them thought it was funny, thought it was like, some kind of, it was humorous. It was like entertainment for them.
Yeah.
So I say that to say that sometimes they need like these heightened emotions, because everything that's not accessible to, let's say, 99% of us, they have. So what do they need to do now? They need to do something else. So I think it's like taking control of somebody. I think it's very dominant, like very, I'm on top of you kind of thing. And I don't mean like a, man versus woman kind of thing. I think it's complete dominance. Like I can really do anything to you kind of thing. And you're not going to say nothing on top of that.
Yeah.
I'm like, nobody's going to believe you. We hear some of these stories just like with regular folks. It's like, let's say police officers and, they might do something bad, or whoever else. It's like with somebody with little notoriety. Well, if you say that, nobody's going to believe you.
Yeah.
So why don't a lot of women come forward? Because this has been inculcated in their minds that nobody's going to believe them. They don't have the resources or the credibility that these people do. So, I think that we've learned lately, or, in the last few years, that Hollywood is this thing, and people see things all the time and they keep quiet. We've seen it with brother Bilal, trying to expose Will Smith, saying that he did XYZ. Do we know if it's true? No. We are seeing Harry Weinstein. People were saying, he did this all the time. They saw it. Nobody reported it. R. Kelly, same thing. Bill Cosby, same thing. So, this is a trend of like people that are like really famous and have money, power, access, Hollywood, anything that you could have. But I feel like, they feel so untouchable that they could do these things to people, And I think that Diddy didn't think that, somebody would have the courage to do something like this or even win on top of that. But what Cassie did, and I saw somewhere in some article, was pretty genius, because she not only sued Diddy, she sued all these big things associated to Diddy and the corporations. I can't remember the plaintiffs, the defendants, the plaintiffs? The defendants. I think it was like Sony or Epic or so, like all of these things. So that's probably also what caused him to settle so quickly, because now it's not only Diddy and Diddy's responsibility, because I think he would have fought it till the end, and he still claims that he didn't do it. We're not saying he did or didn't, but if we're seeing what we're seeing, but people bigger than him said, settle this now before before there's bigger damage, so that was a very long-winded. I don't know where I went with that. I think my whole spirit wanted to tell you guys this, but what do you think?
I think you said everything. So I got nothing.
No, don't do that. You always have something.
As far as this, section, no, I agree with, everything that you mentioned. So I have nothing right now.
Wow. That's shocking.
I'm agreeing with you here.
I don't even know. Like, I think we should end this on a high note. Like,
wow.
Agree with me, guys.
You know what? I can't.
But that concludes today's episode. I know it was a long one. I think I still can't even wrap my mind with what we've discussed. It seems so great. I don't know. But let us know what you think of in the comments about this whole Diddy situation, Cassie, his love life, his history of settling cases in undisclosed amounts. Just anything. Like, what do you think? He did some of these things. What do you think about all these powerful people in Hollywood having all this, I guess, power over people and doing whatever they want? Are people enablers, or are people scared to come forward? Let us know what you think in the comments. But if you haven't already done so, please subscribe, turn on the notification bell so you don't miss any of our videos. Also, please share our video. We're trying to grow our community so your friends could be our friends, so we could all be friends. We also have social media, which Dee will tell you about.
We are on TikTok and Instagram at Hear Me Out TNE. So make sure you guys like, follow, share, and comment. We enjoy interacting with you guys.
All right, guys. We'll see you next time. Peace.
Bye.
Bye.